What is up guys, JayFerGaming here, welcome back to my Lewis Hamilton challenge, and it's round 2 for the Malaysian Grand Prix. If you haven't already, check out round 1, it was absolutely fantastic. Starting from the back of the grid as we do in this series, and I'm not going to spoil the result, but it was a very exciting race. Here in Malaysia, Rosberg is on pole, which is not good for us because obviously he has a free run to just glide into the distance, and we need to try and catch up to him even though we're in last place, and it's going to be very tricky. Malaysia is a tricky circuit made up of long straight, but it has that tricky second sector as well, but we'll see how we do. And it's the two Ferraris behind Rosberg, so hopefully they can get ahead of him. So in terms of strategy, I think I'm just going to keep it pretty standard, try and make my way through the field starting on the options, because if I did start on the primes that'd make things a little bit more trickier and I'd probably lose a bit of time, so maybe starting most races on the options would be the way to go. So as we get to the grid sequence, things are going to be very exciting into the first corner. I can see it, us against the Manners, and the lights are lighting up, 4, 5, and away we go. And I've actually learned how to get a respectable start. It looks like we're blasting past Stevens, even Merry as well. Oh my god, we're overtaking 2 cars off the start. The Manners have been dispatched. We're going to go up the inside of Alonso and Button here. They're really close to each other. Button is pinning us on the curb. I think we've got done. What's Ericsson doing? Oh, we've made contact with Maldonado of all people. What the hell was Ericsson doing there? Just swerving around on the track. I'm on the curb again. Button is brake checking me. Thanks to that, Jensen. He did help me out in Australia as well, but we're going to get this position here from Button. How are we? Is he going to try and go around the outside? No, he's not. We're up into 16th. Decent start. But we need to dispatch of these cars. I think it's pretty much up to 7th place. The cars I need to get out the way as quick as possible, because it's the top 6 that my main challengers, and easy move up the inside of Maldonado. You can see how much grip I had compared to him in Sector 2. They are the corners where the Mercedes just excel so much, and up the inside of Verstappen, are we going to get him here? The AI don't like me going up the inside at all. They seem to go very wide, and it only seems to be in this Mercedes career so far, so that's something to look out for. But here's the start once again. Dispatching of the Manners, that was pretty simple. Actually, after a respectable start, I didn't slide across the track like I usually do. One McLaren gets scared off, I think that was Alonso, and you can see the contact, it's quite scrappy actually. I actually ploughed into Maldonado quite hard there, lucky not to damage my front wing. And this is Ericsson, he makes contact, he's all over the shop, makes contact again. What kind of start is this, Marcus? But we did recover from that, got ourselves up the inside of Jensen as he went far too wide. And now we're into the fast section where the Mercedes is absolutely brilliant. You can just see the grip distance. The car is connected to the track, and look how easily we catch up and overtake Maldonado. That is the car I was driving in Season 1, so it's so much easier this season. And closing up to the back of Verstappen, we go for a bit of a dive bomb just to make up another position. Clean move up the inside. Maybe the other drivers are just scared of the Mercedes in their mirrors, and Ericsson's got a Mercedes in his mirrors as we close in for 14th place. But if you look at the straight line speed, we don't have the best straight line speed, which is quite a surprise, and the setup I have on must be helping us in Sector 2 with the fast corners. So we've got a very grippy car, but not the best in terms of straight line speed, and here is an example right now. We actually didn't overtake anyone on lap 2, which was a big surprise. We're closing up on Grosjean here. We're overtaking far too many cars down here. I'm not going to complain, but yeah, a lot of cars dispatched. And I don't know what happened to Grosjean there, if he lost control, went off the track, but he's lost a lot of time. And now to try and get past Nasser in the Sauber. And you can see, when we both had DRS on the back straight and the start finish straight, Nasser actually pulled away, which was very strange. But we're closing up here. We're pretty grippy in the turn 1 and 2 in that chicane, but we're getting closer and closer to Nasser. But not, is it close enough? We're going for a dive bomb up the inside, and we've just totally gone over the apex and got into 11th position. This hasn't been as easy as in Australia, so going for the win like we did in round 1, it's going to be very tricky. And here it comes, my traditional overtaking position on the track for Malaysia. There we go, into the points, and that's taken 4 laps, so I think it's a little longer than in Australia, so it's going to be very tricky to win this race. But in terms of winning this race, let's have a look what's going on up the front. This is Vettel in 3rd, closing in on his teammate Raikkonen, and Vettel is up into 2nd place now, and he can try and close down on Rosberg, who's had an easy run of it so far. You can see the gap's only a couple of seconds, but he's just strolling around the track. He's got this race in the bag, hasn't he? But here we go, trying to make up more positions. You can see on the mini-map we are the full straight behind Rosberg, so what's that, maybe 8-9 seconds, possibly more. But straight line speed is not there again, but we still close in enough to get the position from Sainz up into 9th. And now to try and get Kvyat, who does have good grip in Sector 2, but Hulkenberg is really holding him up. So, trying to get as close as possible. I don't think we're going to have a move coming into turn 4 here. Now, I think we're too far back this time looking at this. Yes, we are. So we'll wait for our favourite section of the track. Decent exit there, but we're sliding around, losing a little bit of time, but you can see the grip from on board. It's unbelievable. And no, you're wrong. You thought there was going to be an overtake, but there wasn't, because I made a very stupid mistake there. Lost a bit of control, and Sainz hit me there, just for good measure. So I'll wait until the next lap, and he got what he deserved, Kvyat did, because he's incredibly slow. It's very surprising. In a Red Bull as well, you'd expect them to have good downforce, but up the inside of Kvyat, he seems to have gone off the track as well, looking in the mirrors, and we're very close to Hulkenberg already. This isn't going to take a lot of time. Up the inside and into 7th position. There we go. And I think that's, I don't want to say easy cars, but the easier cars out of the way. Obviously the 2 Ferraris, Rosberg, the 2 Williams and Ricciardo are going to be a lot more trickier. And looking down the road, we can't see anyone yet, but the gap to Ricciardo I think is around 8-9 seconds. And looking at the mini-map, the car's going into the pits, and it's my time as well. I'm pretty sure we won't stack. I should be too far behind Rosberg. But the 2 Williams have pitted at this point, and they actually pitted at the exact same time, of course, because Codemasters don't test their game out. But coming into the box, and the guys seem to be very slow. The timer didn't start, so what the hell's going on there? We came in about 10 seconds after Rosberg, so I don't see why we would have lost that much time. But Massa isn't that far ahead now, because he's stuck behind Bottas. We're about 4 seconds behind, so if we keep it cool, keep it clean, we'll catch up to him. And look at the clouds there. Rain is coming, and it's coming down in a few laps. My engineer has told me that. But Massa doesn't have the best pace at this point, well compared to me. He did lock up into turn 1, so he's feeling the pressure. And is this going to be another position for Hamilton to gain? I mean, I haven't overtaken someone for over 10 laps, so I just crave it so much. And I think we're going to be close enough here for a diving move up the inside. Yes, we are. We are kind of slowing the car down. We did go a bit wide, but Massa, we were in the way for Massa to fight back, and up into 6th place. So what's the aim right now? Well, podium, that could be out the question. We're looking at the minimap once again. Rosberg is absolutely miles ahead now, and it should be an easy victory for him. But what's going to happen with the rain? Well, the rain is coming down, but once again I can't. Is it me being absolutely stupid? But I can't see the rain apart from on the front of my car. The raindrops, you just can't see any raindrops. Is it me being stupid? I don't think it is, but what you know. Well, it's time for intermediates. I'm going to come into the pits. What's Ricciardo going to do? He's going to be incredibly slow, and I'll just go up the inside and get in an easy position. So up into 4th. That'll do very nicely indeed. And it looks like everyone's coming into for intermediates, but the lack of raindrops makes it very tricky to decide when to change tyres. So we're coming in here for potentially our final stop, and the guys are very slow once again. What are they playing at? They're supposed to be the best team on the grid. But we do get ourselves into 4th place, just ahead of Ricciardo. Raikkonen's about 4 or 5 seconds ahead. So it's not looking too bad. We have a shot at the podium. I don't think we can catch Rosberg unless something absolutely crazy happens. And nothing's about to happen. Well, Rosberg is in the pit. Why is he in the pit? Well, I don't have a clue. And he's down to third, and we're going to overtake him. We are ahead of Rosberg, so that's worked out perfectly. And why are we ahead of him? Why has he pitted? Well, we might find out soon, we might not. I'm going to explain that in a second, but we've got ourselves into the podium position, so it's looking good at the moment. And looking at the director, Rosberg is on intermediates again, so did he have an issue going into the pit stop? Well, his tyres look fine, and it's usually a puncture which affects the AI cars. Let's have a look as he goes in. And yeah, you can just see another set the intermediates, so I'm not sure what his issue was there. But we've got ourselves into third, so things are looking very good in terms of the championship, because we've got to aim for beating Rosberg all the time. And hi Will Stevens, you're going to screw me. There we go, thanks for braking, And we've lost our front wing, smashed into the back of Will Stevens. And if you did watch my Maldonado career mode, me and him battled so many times in the early stages of the season. And we'll have a look again. Whose fault is that? Please leave a comment. And this bit really amused me. It was like, both of us just didn't take the turn, and he's like, hey guys, I'm back. So we just go flying off the track, forgot to take the left turn, and he's just like, this really amused me that I watched it over and over. But yeah, I've got no front wing. We'll see it on board with Stevens. Does he slow down? Well, looking at his steering wheel, it doesn't really look like he does, but I was sure he slowed down in front of me, brake checked me. On board with Ricciardo, you can just see a little bit. Two cars going flying off ahead. Stevens comes back on the track. I just completely skipped the whole corner, and we're going to have to go into the pits now. The track was feeling a lot wetter as well, so I was going to come in for the wet tyres anyway. This is just going to add a few more seconds onto my pit stop. So Ricciardo's come in, but it looks like Rosberg stayed out, so is it the right call going on to the wet tyres? Stevens has come in, but I think he's got damage. Mary's come in as well, by the looks of things, and that is an incredibly slow pit stop again. I know they're changing the front wing, but that is very slow. What are the guys doing? We're down to 5th, and feeling out for the grip. It's a little tricky. I don't think it's perfect conditions for the wet tyres. Maybe a couple of laps of rain will help us out, but if we look at the minimap again, we're always looking out for Rosberg, of course. Rosberg is very far ahead. And I'm pretty sure he's still on the... Yeah, he must be still on the intermediate tyres. But moving on to lap 26 now. The rain did become heavier. It was definitely wet tyre conditions. And Rosberg is still on the intermediate tyres. He's taken a huge risk, just like he did in Season 1 in Mexico, where he stayed on wet tyres on a bone-dry track. So we could get a podium here. We're catching up to Ricciardo about a second a lap. And I know Rosberg's ahead by quite a lot at this point, but he could lose a lot of time over the next 2.5 laps. There's a long way to go before the end of this race, and I'm looking for a podium at this point. And this is what was going on the penultimate lap. I think coming on to the final lap actually. This is Vettel, and he's about to take the lead because he's overtaking Rosberg, who is on the wrong tyres. And that is great for the championship. Don't get me wrong, the Ferraris can win the World Drivers' title, but I don't personally think they're going to. I think it's going to be between me and Rosberg, and it's going to be very tricky for me to do that. Here's Raikkonen getting himself into second place, so the Ferraris are really helping me out here. Rosberg is down to third, and now we're going to be on to the final lap, and I am really closing in on Ricciardo. And there's a couple of very slow cars ahead. That is Rosberg. That is Rosberg. This is getting closer and closer and more intense. He's slowing down the back marker. This is going to make things very interesting as we go into the final sector. Ricciardo's very slow, so I'm going to go around the outside. He's getting slowed up by Perez and Rosberg. I'm up into 4th. Rosberg is that slow. Surely I'm going to get 3rd place. I've got to go for it. Up the inside. We've got the move done. Up into 3rd. We're on the podium. And what's going on behind us? Perez. Ricciardo's got himself up into 4th, but the gap to me must be too big. And we can see how slow Rosberg is. He's just causing a train. I got Ricciardo because he got held up behind Perez. And look how close he gets. I've gone up the inside. And look how close he gets to Ricciardo. That could have been carnage there. Both cars could have been out the race. We'll see it on board with Ricciardo. That's how close it was. If Rosberg didn't slow down there, then them two would have been spun out at least. But we're coming down to the final corner in third place. What a recovery this is. To be fair, yes, the rain has helped us, but we've had a decent drive. We're coming to the line. It's going to be 2 podiums in a row. And there we go. It's third place. We're very happy about that. Another podium for Lewis Hamilton. And all of this from the back of the grid. Wow, I'm going to be honest, I really enjoy these races, doing them for this series. Coming from the back, loads of overtakes, loads of action in these first 2 races. Hope you've enjoyed the series. Give me feedback if there's anything you want me to do or not do. But yeah, we're on the podium once again, celebrating good times, and so many more good times ahead. Well, we'll have the results coming up again as we share pleasantries with the Ferrari drivers. No Rosberg, which is always a good thing in the game, of course. So, looking at the results, the 2 Ferraris, great result for them. Ricciardo ended up 4th and Rosberg slid all the way down to 5th. Bottas and Massa also up there, but Kvyat finished 8th. That's a good result for him, considering he was absolutely useless in season 1. I think he's got 7 points all season, and Button got points for the McLaren, so that's a good job from him. And Alonso was close as well, so the rain definitely affected things, and that was a very enjoyable race. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, show your support for this series. And Merry retired, as well as Ericsson. So let's have a look at the driver's standings. Things should be very close. I know it's early on, so that's a bit of an obvious statement, but yeah, equal on points for Vettel, and Rosberg's equal on points for Raikkonen. Wow, that is very close. I didn't expect that at all. Kvyat's up in 8th. That's a great start for him. And then quite a few drivers have scored points so far. No points from the Lotus guys. Well, a bit surprised on that. And yeah, equal on points with the Ferrari. So this could be a very interesting battle this season. Really enjoying it. So if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more F1 2015 videos, including this awesome series. And yeah, next race should be in China, and I'll catch you then. Goodbye.